Hello, Sagittarius. Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead, Sag. How are you? Thanks so much for checking in here. I appreciate you. Look, we're going to use some oracles. We're going to find out the overall energy for the week ahead, and then we are going to look at some tarot, see what's coming up. If you want to know about the extended, I would suggest you hang around at the end of this video, and we will talk about the extended and all these sales that are going on for private reads. Let's get to it. We've got the dog. It says protection from a powerful friend, and it says persevere and you will overcome problems. The camel is here. We've got the spirit, says heartache over what you no longer have. We have vacation, and then we have slowly but surely getting ahead. Well, look, overall, it's not such a bad look at it here. What do we got here? It says forces working against you. Okay, so I think, Sagittarius, you are coming out of this cycle where you feel like everything's against you. Everything, everyone, possibly things haven't been working out for you. I feel as though you have somebody in your life who really does protect you, or I would say give you good advice. Pardon me, in times when you need it. It feels like there's somebody here who is possibly really loyal to you, a loyal friend of sorts, and they are the ones that are sort of keeping you going, or saying, look, it's okay. You're going to overcome all of the things that have been hard for you here. I feel like you've been trying to overcome something, some sort of heartache that you don't want to have any longer. It feels like there's been something here that has pierced your heart, or maybe given you disappointment or heartache. It's something that you've lost, or something you had to give up. It might not be something that left you. It could be something that you had to give up. I feel like it's time for you to take a break. With this vacation card here, and I feel like you are moving in the right direction, but I feel like up to here, it's been slow, because it almost feels like people, places, things, situations, the universe, it feels like it's been against you. It feels that way. I don't think that it has been, but it feels that way. So I feel like you do have somebody special in your life, probably a really loyal friend or family member or a bestie, somebody like that, who is really trying to keep you moving forward in the right direction here. For tarot, we have Judgment. We have the Nine of Swords, and we have the Star. There's the healing from the worrisome energy that you've been going through up till now. It feels like there is some sort of decision, something that I feel you must let go of, and I feel like you probably have already let go of it, because the Spear is here. And I want to say that in the week ahead, because that's what we're reading for, I always read for the week ahead, I feel like you are in the week ahead coming to some sort of a breakthrough that is going to get you, I'm going to say, over the bridge or past this hard cycle. It does feel like some sort of a breakthrough that's going to take you to some healing, because it feels like up till now you felt like there was something that you had lost, or something that you no longer have, that you're sad that you don't have anymore. I do feel like you are slowly moving in the right direction, though. I feel like back here you made a decision to let something go, because I feel like with the Judgment card here, you had to make a decision about whether you were going to repeat that cycle, take the old path back, or whether you were moving into the new cycle. Now, whether we do or we don't is really not a bad or a good thing. Please take that out of your mind. Going back to a cycle is not a bad thing. It's just a lesson that needs to be learned that has not yet been learned. And cycles will keep continuing to show up in the same situation, but different people, different bodies, until you understand the lesson. I think simply the Judgment is telling us, Sagittarius, that you have passed something, you've learned a lesson, you've figured it out, and I feel like you have persevered and overcome this thing that you feel like you've lost, whatever that is. Could be a job, could be a person, a place, a situation, could be someone that you were dating. We have Temperance here, and Temperance is a moment of alchemy. It's attached to the Nine of Swords and the Sun for me, so it feels like you're having some sort of breakthrough at the moment of alchemy. And the moment of alchemy is a time when everything is perfect. It's like everything is in alignment, everything has come into alignment in order to provide you this hopeful healing that the star is about to provide you for you in the week ahead. I feel like you have come through the fire and come through a hard cycle, because we do have the King of Wands here, and the King of Wands is sitting on the throne because they were resilient enough to get there, and that's you, right? So I feel like you've gone through a lot of hardship, you've had some losses, but I feel like this judgment is now your decision. Your decision is, I'm going to just leave it back there and I'm just going to move forward, because I no longer want to feel stuck. I need to cut something away. I no longer want to feel like things have been working against me. I think for some of you, possibly this has been going on since late December, since last year, and it might be that you did hear somebody was gossiping behind your back, and so it feels like you had to let go of a friendship or something because you heard somebody told you that someone else was saying something behind your back. It says someone will gossip about your secrets. So I feel like somebody that you really confided in, somebody you really trusted, I feel like you now have to let that situation go. Be clear, I think that you already let it go, but I think that you're still feeling sort of the hurt of that, of having to let go of it. I feel like it was your decision though, and I think it was a smart one, but I think you had to wait, as we all do. We all must wait for the moment of alchemy. So you can, that's the thing, like you can give your friends advice, people who are in terrible and unhealthy relationships and business partnerships and places where they work. You can talk till you're blue in the face, but until somebody is ready to make their own change, make their own decision, then it's just you're wasting your hot air, right? And I feel like it's the same with you. It's the same for all of us. I feel like you finally made a decision that you were no longer going to worry, that you were going to heal that worry. And I think that's when the breakthrough came, that your healing or your hopeful healing is actually within your reach. It's something you are in control of. Your manifestations are what you are in control of. And the star is looking straight at the tortoise, which says slowly but surely getting ahead. This could mean financial. This could also mean romantic, right? Or it could mean emotional, or it could mean in the workplace. Tell me about the Judgment card. We've got the Five of Swords, we've got the Ace of Wands, and we have the Ten of Wands. We've got the World card at the bottom of the deck. So I feel like this was something that you were feeling burnt out by or pressured by. It feels like you had really come to a point where you knew you could not go through another cycle with the same situation or the same person. And I think that you decided, I've got to drop it and go on to something new. The Five of Swords is here. I'm going to tell you that you made the right decision, Sag, because there is someone, something, a situation here that you never would have come to a place of agreement on. So there was always going to be this Five of Swords where someone was going to always try and get the best of you, or was always going to try and say whatever they had to say to win at any cost. And I think that the cost was you. I think because the Ten of Wands is here, it feels like you were sort of in burnout with going around and round and round in this cycle with this person. I think you've learned the lesson. The Judgment card tells me you may have, and the World card is here, which tells me this is the milestone. This is the place where you close the door and say, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. So I feel like you're finally making the decision to move forward, and it does feel hopeful. There is healing that will take time. I feel like you could use a vacation. You could use a breakaway of some sort, whether that is in your backyard, a staycation, or maybe you need to rent a cabin, or maybe just get on a flight and go somewhere domestic. I'm not saying spend thousands of dollars, unless you can afford to go on a trip, but I think that there's something hopeful about the healing that you're about to experience in the week ahead. And it's because of some sort of a breakthrough here. We've got the Page of Wands, we've got the Eight of Wands, and the Six of Wands. So you're in your Wands energy here, right? I feel like you have come to a place where you've mastered your fire, and that you're no longer jumping in on things and making quick decisions, because although the King of Wands is somebody who's very passionate about whatever they want, this is someone who has grown in their passions, right? So they're no longer the Knight, no longer jumping in, making decisions that are quick and going to worry, we'll do this now for the sake of fire and then we'll worry about it later. You're not doing that anymore because the king has more to lose. The king is running a kingdom. Can't just throw things out there. I think you're having this breakthrough. I think that's what this is. I feel like I'm going to say that your healing is going to be more rapid than you think it is. And I feel like you'll be back to your old playful self in no time. I think that the Six of Wands is telling me that you, and this page tells me that you'll be back to your old playful self in no time. Having known that it's time for you to place some boundaries now that you have closed this chapter or dropped the burdens of feeling pressured or burnt out, or it feels like you are now dropping burdens, 7 Wands here, and you are past the worst of it, because the Six of Wands is the person who is coming out of the war or the fight, and they are resilient, right? So and fire is all about resiliency, and that's you. So we've got the Queen of Swords here, and I feel like you finally just said so. You said something, whether you were truthful and honest with yourself or somebody else. It feels here like you were finally out of a hard cycle. What was your breakthrough here, Sag? Let's talk about that. What was the big breakthrough for you, or what will be the big breakthrough for you? We've got the King of Cups. We've got the 9 of Wands, and we've got the 10 of Cups in the reverse. I feel as though that you had very deep feelings about someone, something, situation. And I feel like the sun is now shining on the King of Cups. And I think that the King of Cups is the person who is usually finding stability in the storm. That's the person who's really good in an emergency, someone who doesn't really lose their crap at the first sight of something going wrong. I think that whatever you went through back here that you finally let go of, that I feel still has a place in your heart, still bothers you a bit. I think that this was to teach you how to be emotionally available. This is the lesson you were learning here, is the King of Cups. It was teaching you how to be emotionally available, emotionally intelligent, that, you know, not every situation requires for you to be overly emotional or losing your crap. I think that the 9 of Wands is here because not only did you need to learn how to be resilient in your energy, but you needed to learn how to be emotionally resilient. And I feel like whatever didn't work out for you was actually a blessing in disguise. It feels like the 10 of Cups is here because of the 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands tells me that you had already burnt yourself out in the situation. For some of you, maybe you had many, many cycles with, you know, this job, like saying, okay, I'm going to quit, and then you don't, and then it gets worse, and then you say, I'm going to quit, and you don't, and then it gets worse. Could be that, or it could be a relationship, a romantic relationship as well. It feels like you grew up, or, you know, it could be both of these king's energies here. And it could be a masculine energy, whether you're a woman or a man, but these are masculine leaning energies along with feminine energy. So whether you're feminine or masculine, I feel like the sun is shining on the King of Wands and the King of Cups, which is be strategic and be careful and keep it all under the surface until you're ready or you feel safe, and keep your passions rolled in and don't jump in immediately. So I feel like you're stuck in this 9 of Swords energy, because I don't see any other swords about here. It feels like you're stuck in this 9 of Swords energy, which is a place that you're still trying to release whatever went on back there. Tell me about the 9 of Wands. We've got the 6 of Cups. Yeah, it's still stuck in your memory bank here. I think the way it ended, or yeah, it's like the devil is the attachment of the memories, and the tower is you experienced that something was falling apart. And the only reason things fall to the ground is when they were built up as an illusion. So I'm going to say that whatever you were in was karmic. If it was the job or the relationship or what it is, it was karmic, and it was only meant to teach you a lesson. And once you learned the lesson, it had to go. That's the thing, right? Whatever comes to teach you the lesson is going to leave once you go. And if you keep trying to pull that person back into your life after they've already taught you the lesson, that's when the hardship starts. We've got the 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords and the 6 of Swords. So I like that. You're kind of moving away from now, or escaping this mental prison that you were in. And we do have the Magician and the 2 of Cups. I feel like you're already manifesting someone new. We're going to go into the extended, and we're going to talk about that. Who are you manifesting that is new? We'll talk a little bit about that. Oh, look at that. The Wheel of Fortune just popped out, and I kind of like that. And there's new love right there. So we'll talk a little bit about this. It could be a soulmate. We do see the Queen of Cups on the bottom of the deck. For me, the bottom of the deck is always the future energy here, which means that in the week ahead, I feel like things become clearer. I feel like you are finally having the breakthrough you need about pulling things back and being more strategic and not jumping in and pulling in your fire a little bit. It's not to say you shouldn't have fire, because you must always, because you are Sagittarius energy, but it's rolling it in just a little bit and waiting for it to come to you rather than going out there and chasing it. So I think that we will talk about this breakthrough a little bit. We will talk about what's coming in the future. And maybe for those of you who can't quite let go of whatever did pierce your heart or hurt you or break your heart, we'll talk about how you can release that. I'm going to go into the extended. If you'd like to be there, please check the pinned comment. The pinned comment also has a code for 10% off your pre-recorded private readings. Also, there's all sorts of discounts for the live readings, which I've been so enjoying getting to know you guys over the phone. Thank you so much for all your calls. I love it. And anywhere from 5% to 75%, depending on whether you're returning for another call or this is your first time. So I'm going to go into the extended. If you'd like to be there, please look for the pinned comment. There's a membership link there. And I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I am always back. But I will see you in the extended if that's where you are. You guys take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.